Hello, hello. There we go. Good evening, guys. It's Cecilia here with the weight room, and we are waiting for our guest, Chrissy, to jump on. We are going to hear about her story tonight and really dive into her journey. So, if you would like to stick around, give us about, I'd say, 8 minutes or so. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm Cecilia here with the weight room, and what I do every Sunday is bring on guests who are on a journey to regain their health. And I am really diving into those conversations with people who have had weight loss surgery, who are using weight loss medication, who have found ways to diet and exercise, or have not even started their journey and they have questions because they don't know where to start. I'm diving into those conversations so we can educate ourselves and learn more about the different ways we can all get the same results. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, stay tuned. We'll start here at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time as soon as Chrissy pops on. And if for any reason you have to miss tonight's Sunday story, it is going to be uploaded on my YouTube channel, which is linked in my bio. Hello, hello. I am not really in a vibe tonight. Sorry for looking a little bit of a mess. I ended up just throwing on a graphic tee. I got a little blankie and I'm ready to dive into Chrissy's story and just, hear about what she's gone through and how she got onto this path. Hello, how are you? Although our paths look different, we're still all trying to regain our health. And I'm really interested in seeing how other people's journeys look. And I'm here to educate myself on that. All right. Invite. All right, girl, I'm inviting you. As soon as I see it, we'll get that going. Good evening, good evening. Happy Sunday. Hello, guys. We'll start our Sunday stories in just a moment. Chrissy is here. We're just getting her loaded in so she can come on as a guest. We should see it any second here. There we go.
Trying to do this.
Oh, you got it.
Do you see me?
Nope. You'll probably just have to click on your little camera button, on your little on your icon.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Oh, you're fine. Or you may. There you go. Yay!
I can see you.
Yay! Thank you for coming on. I'm excited to hear more about your journey and what you've gone through. I'll give you a little second to get situated, and I'll go ahead and introduce myself again and get this show started. All right, it's almost 5 till, but we'll go ahead and get started, guys. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Cecilia here with the Weight Room, and I am bringing on guests from all different paths that are on a journey to regain their health, whether it's been weight loss surgery, whether it's weight loss medication, you've strictly done diet and exercise, or you don't even know where to start and you have conversations, questions and conversations you want to have. We're here to talk about that and learn about all the different paths people have taken to actually regain their health. Tonight we have Chrissy and we're going to hear all about her story. Chrissy. introduce yourself and kind of tell us what's been going on.
Hey, my name is Chrissy. I'm 51 years old. Um, and I am rediscovering myself. So I'm going through a big journey, and it started when I was like 49.
Okay.
And like I saw a picture of myself. I had went out to eat. I was 299 pounds. I I have back issues. I was in a lot of pain. um, so depressed. And then I saw this photo and I'm like, I'm gonna be 50. My mom passed away at 48 from a stroke. So she was a diabetic. I'm a diabetic. And I was just like, I'm just seeing a future of no good down my path. So um I just realized I just started went into started talking about my story rather than just
That's
introducing
okay.
myself.
That's okay. That's who you are and what you're about.
Yeah. And so at that moment I said to myself, okay, you either are going to make a change or you're just going to die young.
Right.
And you're not going to have really a good life ahead of you. So I decided to make the change. And this was when I was 49. And I basically like white knuckled it. I went on TDEE, found out what my maintenance calories was. I deducted 500 calories from that. I started, really watching what I ate, and I had lost 70 pounds on my own, right?
It's
And
amazing.
then I was happy. 50 years old, I was just like, yay, look at me. I'm like, I felt so good losing 70 pounds. I had went from 299 down to 223. And then I just slowly kept gaining it back. And no matter what I did, I kept, I was still watching what I was eating. I was going to the gym. I was walking. I was doing everything right. And I
Right.
just could not understand why I was kept losing and gaining the same 20 pounds. I got to 240 to 230 to 225, back up to 240. And that was like that for a year. And
Yeah.
then come July, this past July, on TikTok, everybody's on TikTok. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these people talking about Manjaro. And I'm just like, for type 2 diabetes. And because I was actually, and just like a little hit to rewind as for my past, because I did have surgery in the 90s. I had my stomach stapled
Okay.
in the 90s. So they didn't like take my, like, how they remove your intestines and
Yeah.
do that stuff. What they did to me was they just went in and they literally stapled the part of my stomach to cut it off.
Right.
Um, and I had lost 80 pounds back then. So I was debating to go and do bariatric surgery again.
Right.
And I did not want to do that because I had, I don't know if you can see this, but I had like neck surgery a few years back and I almost died on the table.
Oh,
So
hi.
that like freaked me out. And I didn't want to have surgery. I'm like, I
Right.
don't want to have weight loss surgery. I've been down that road. It's not about me needing weight loss surgery. It's about me learning how to deal with food. It's about me learning to deal with my relationship with food, learning how to eat properly. I never learned how to eat properly in my life. You know what I mean? I don't know what good food is, bad food is, how much of a portion size. I just don't know. I never
Right.
knew. And I always, my entire life kept trying to take the easy way out. Oh, is there a pill? Oh, you know what? Let me go on Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, Slim Fast, Fen. I could just keep going
Right.
and on with every single, diet I have been on and tried. So having done all that, I was debating, like, do I need to do surgery again? Because I don't know what else to do. So seeing all these people with Manjaro saying it was like they had bariatric results with it, I'm like, well, you know what? I am a type 2 diabetic. You know what? Let me try and see if I can get on this medication and see. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try it.
Right.
So went in, my doctor, his first patient who even asked for it, and he was kind of like, did a little bit of research and was talking to me. He's like, "You sure?" He's like, "Okay, I want you to really monitor your blood sugar on this." He wanted me to be very careful. And he told me, he was like, "If your blood sugar starts to get too low, I want you to stop taking your medicine, my metformin that I was on."
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I agreed. And ironically enough, the first 2 weeks of me taking, my blood sugar dropped considerably. Like I actually had to go buy some glucose pills because my blood sugar got down to like 40.
Hmm.
And that was like too low. But that's because I wasn't eating.
Right.
So I was taking the medication, not eating, and taking my diabetes medicine. So
Mhm.
that's where I'm like, okay, I need to stop taking my diabetes medicine, period,
Yeah.
because that's just like not helping matters,
Right.
you
It's
know.
compounding.
And then I learned to, okay, let me eat before I take my shot,
Yeah.
So that has actually considerably helped. And then when I just got back and I got my results, I went from a 6.4 down to a 5.4
Wow.
for my A1C. So I'm
Amazing.
like in remission, what they call diabetes remission right now.
Right.
So that, like, in itself, I feel so accomplished in a sense because I saw my legs, I saw these dots, like, neuropathy you get from
Mhm.
diabetes. A lot of people lose their limb, their feet and stuff. And I was down that road. And every day that my A1C was at that level, I was doing kidney damage, I'm doing a bunch of damage to my organs being a diabetic. So knowing that, I stopped that, like, oh, such an accomplishment. But you know what? It was the Manjaro.
Right.
It wasn't me. I wasn't doing anything different that I was doing before. But the Manjaro, and that just like it clicked to me that my entire life, I'm gonna start to cry. I beat myself up.
Yeah, you weren't failing.
I beat myself up. I'm like, something's wrong with me. Why can't I be so strong like my other friends and so on and so forth? I don't understand. And then I have my friends telling me, Christine, I don't understand because you barely eat anything. I don't understand. Like, and I'm just like, I wish I had a better metabolism. I always blame my metabolism, but no, it was a chemical imbalance that now we all have medicine for, and like when I just went to my doctor and I was like singing Manjaro's praises and I'm like begging him to help me get a PA because I'm terrified come June, not gonna be able to take it because I'm not gonna be able to afford it,
Yeah.
I'm already freaking out about that because I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And he was like, wow, you make it sound like it's a miracle drug. And I'm like, well, I feel like it's a miracle drug for me
Hmm.
because it's done, not only did it help me in regards to weight and helping get that guilt off my head and saying, you know what, it wasn't me. I had a chemical imbalance of some sort and I
Right.
needed help. And it's helping direct the sugars in the right place. I was insulin resistant, so like is to make it and my brain, the quieting of my brain and helping me like, okay, now I feel normal. So this is what normal feels like. So if I felt like this my entire life, then I wouldn't have been where I was to begin with. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been so depressed. I wouldn't have had so much anxiety because I had to constantly fight my own thoughts. And it's like I equated to like being in a prison, you know? I'm in a prison, trapped, And there are times where you can talk yourself out of this prison and you've escaped the prison for a little while. Yeah. But guess what? It's like you're on the run
Right.
from the cops.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can just be relaxed and happy. I'm on the run of like, I got to keep myself busy. I got to keep myself on this positive train. I got to keep these thoughts at bay. And it's only so long you can do that
Right.
before they catch you and then you throw them back in prison. And then you're like, how long am I going to be in here this time before I can get myself out again?
Hmm.
That's the only way I can explain the cycle. that I had in my head in fighting against my depression, my anxiety, and my food thoughts, you know?
Right.
So, and the ironic thing is that every time you're on what's called a diet, you then have to think about food all the damn time because you have to plan your food. When am I going to eat the food? What kind of food am I going to eat? I got to count the calories. I got to do this. So then now food is like basically on my mind all the time.
Right.
Whereas if I'm not on a diet, then food isn't on my mind as much because I don't got to prep, plan, think, count.
Right.
Drives a person freaking insane.
Yeah.
So I don't have that anymore. And that in and itself is, I'm like, I've said this to a bunch of, I was like, I don't have to lose another freaking pound. As long as my mind stays the way it is, then I'm okay.
Right.
Because that is a miracle. It's for what it's done up here.
Right. And it's hard to explain that to people too if they've never experienced the food noise and then it finally being silenced of I can just go out throughout the day and eat and I know I'm going to choose healthier items. I know I'm not going to eat as much because this medication is helping allow that to happen. And I don't even know how to explain it other than how you did. I mean, it's an amazing feeling and I think we're both blessed and anyone who's experienced that and being able to know what it feels like on both sides. Because that's no wonder people questioned, well, why don't you just eat less? Or why don't, well, what are you doing? You could do more, or you're not doing enough. And we think we're just pushing ourselves. And they've never experienced that. So it makes sense that everybody would be just questioning everything we do.
Yeah. And then just the fact right now, how it's just like insane how the media is representing people that are on Manjaro that are like taking life-saving medication from people or that, like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, first of all, diabetics have access to a bunch of medication. Okay. They don't need to be on Manjaro. Okay. This is new. They don't need Manjaro to live.
Right.
Okay. So this is just people who want to be on Manjaro. There's other options you can take as well.
Right.
So the fact that they're trying to demonize people who are overweight that aren't diabetic that are on this medication is really frustrating to me because it's just like you don't understand.
Well, I
I mean, I
appreciate your
am a diabetic, but whatever. Like, if I wasn't a diabetic, I'd still want to be on the medication.
right. And I appreciate your viewpoint on that and bringing that to the channel tonight because I don't think we've gotten that perspective yet from our guest of hearing the type 2 side. And now I know you mentioned that you are trying to go through that process of getting a prior authorization. What does that look like for you? And are you struggling getting that and having that process done? And is the struggle because you're in remission or is it because of things that we're not aware of since we're not type 2?
It's strictly just because my insurance doesn't cover Manjaro. They don't want to
Okay.
cover Manjaro. They said they cover Trulicity and Ozempic. And so
Okay.
they would want me to try. They say, "Oh, have you tried Ozempic or Trulicity?" And I'm like, I started arguing with him on the phone and I was like, no. And why would I want to try something when I have something that actually has worked? Number one. Number two, I am now off my diabetes medicine. I am now off my high blood pressure medicine. So it has dropped my A1C considerably for I don't know what Trulicity or Ozempic does for their mental health, but Manjaro, I know is helping my mental health, right? So why you, medical professional that wants to be helping me to make sure I don't cost you more money in the long run, which Manjaro is helping me not to do that. Okay.
Right.
But you want to take me off to gamble to see if Trulicity or Ozempic is going to have the same results as Manjaro, where you don't know first of all, I don't have any side effects from Manjaro other than constipation. Okay. So I
Right.
see how other people have all these crazy side effects. I don't. So why take me off something that I don't have any crazy side effects or that is working tremendously well for me. Okay. As like I said again, a gamble onto something that may cause me side effects because I do have a history of having side effects from medication. So why do you want to take that gamble when I'm already doing well and my test results prove I'm already off 2 medications? I
Right.
mean, and it's already proven that Manjaro helps with stroke, heart health, which I have a family history of because my mother died at the age of 48 from a stroke. My grandmother died from a stroke. So like that has family history for me. And I kind of like have peace of mind being on Manjaro, hearing the benefits that it has for your heart health and things like that. So, I mean, this is what I was all saying to the person. And she was like saying, okay, say that. Tell this, mention that in your PA. Make
Yeah.
sure you have your doctor mention that. So I'm like, okay. So I went into my doctor. I was like, please put in the PA anyway. Cause she tried to discourage me at first, was like, I wouldn't even bother. They're just going to deny it. I'm like, well, I don't care. I'm going to try because, and I went, blah, 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 blah,
So
you know,
even as a diabetic, the doctors
are
would.
still having problems getting PAs
Wow.
put through.
I was not aware of that. That's insane.
Yes. Yeah.
I just
So like,
thought that they had to put in your type 2 diagnosis code and it was
no,
poof, it worked. So thank you for bringing light to that.
no, I wish,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, no. Mm-mm.
So why don't you give us a little background of when you officially started Manjaro, your progress so far, and what dose you're on, and reiterate what side effects you did experience.
Okay. I started Manjaro the first week of September. I think it was September 4th I started Manjaro.
Okay.
So I'm going to be starting my 22nd week tomorrow. Monday's my injection day. And that is going, I just last week, this week, I just started my third month on 7.5.
Okay.
So I find so far 7.5 to be, want to say my sweet spot, but then the last 2 weeks or three, wait, one, two, yeah, 3 weeks. The last 3 weeks I did it in my arms. And
Okay.
like I had the most amazing suppression.
Wow.
Like not only like I'm talking throughout the entire week, didn't like usually you know how it wears off like
Yeah.
by like 2 or 3 days beforehand. Didn't it did not wear off not once. But now this week started differently. This week I was like, the suppression wasn't there as much. So I'm like, oh, is it the 7.5 that's wearing off, or do I just need to move the injection site? So I'm gonna try the injection site in my thigh tomorrow, hoping that it's not weaning off the 7. Because I don't want to jump to 10 right now because
Right.
I'm having such good success with 7.5. And it's crazy how I've heard other people who've had to move up to say 10 because they didn't have any 7.5. And when they did that, they had less suppression than when they were on the 7. I find that so weird. I would think it would
Yeah.
be more. So I'm just like, well, I don't want to mess around with something that I know is
It's
working. Like, you
working
know
for
what I mean?
you.
Like, I don't want to jump around because like then I'm stuck with it for the entire month. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, yeah. And I've lost 35 pounds thus
Congratulations.
far. So 21 weeks, I've lost 35 pounds. So that averages out to
Amazing.
be, I think, 1.7 pounds a week,
Yeah.
which is right where you want to be at around
Yeah.
between 1 to 2 pounds a week. I don't want to lose anything more than that. Um, and my only side effect is very bad constipation.
You're still
So, like, I'm on
experiencing
a
that.
yeah, I have to take magnesium every day and I have to do like stool softener. Like otherwise I feel like I gotta go to the hospital or something. So
Yeah.
that is like the only side effect other than maybe when I do my injection in my stomach, I find the next day I'm super tired and I get nauseous.
Yep.
But it only lasts for a small bout, like for maybe 5, 10 minutes and then it goes away.
Yeah.
For
That's
me anyway.
what I experienced. Something very similar, and then along with what you were saying with the injection sites. I've never had like I've never I'm scared to do it other places. So I've just
Don't
done.
be scared. I was so scared to do it in my arm. And let me tell you, I tried it because everybody was saying, oh, do it cold right out. And I'm like, no, it's going to hurt if I do it cold. My arm, I did not feel a thing.
Really? Now, do you go on the very back or do you just kind of like, okay, back there?
Fat, fat, the fat. Don't put it in the
Yeah,
muscle, do it in the
yeah.
fat.
And then when you're saying about going up a dose, so I'm actually on 12.5 and I have that weird suppression where the lower doses I had to force feed myself to eat. And the 12.5, it's like I almost feel like I'm not on anything. But,
See?
but it's a good not feel like I'm on anything. Like I don't really have an interest for food, but I could eat at any time and I could eat whatever, we cook, but I don't have the food noise of like having to go eat something constantly. So it is a weird feeling that you get when you go up on doses because it's like, wait a minute, when I first started, I couldn't eat anything. When I first started, I felt like I had to, force myself because I wasn't eating enough. So
Exactly.
it's definitely unique on how it affects different people. And so
100%.
with your so do you feel like you've managed your side effects pretty well?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the only side effect is constipation. I think I pretty much got my routine down with it and I got it under control. So I really don't have many side effects. And I'm just like super happy again with just being on it. To me, it's like literally a lifesaver again for what it's done for my mental health. And
Oh, for sure.
I'm I'm just like running around in a field of sunflowers, just enjoying my life, feeling myself. I'm just like, I love me. It's all about me this year. My health. I'm trying to do CMOS. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm on a CMOS journey, trying to like improve my health, anything to improve my health, because
Tell me
CMOS
more.
has like nice.
Tell me more about that because Ryan, my
Okay,
partner, he's looked into it several times. So we've gotten gummies, and we've looked at different forms as well. So tell me more about that.
I am because I feel that it has helped me. So I will. CMOS, the one that I'm using right now is from the Transformation Factory, which actually they were on the Shark Tank.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
I love
So,
that show.
and they were, thank you, Mary Elizabeth. Um, they were on the Shark Tank. So I did my research and they, I guess, invested in them. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Because they love the idea, whatever.
Yeah.
So this particular sea moss, what they do is they take sea moss from the islands of Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
right? And uh it's fresh every bat, like it's freshly made. It gets sent to you 2-day air, so
Oh,
you're
wow.
getting a fresh batch. And only like if you get more than one batch, you need to put the batch one in the freezer because otherwise it'll go bad because it's like live whatever.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Um, so they have different flavors. The only ingredients are sea moss. For me, the one I get is pineapple. And the reason why I do the pineapple one is because it has a lot of anti-inflammation properties
Mm-hmm.
and I'm full of inflammation. So I
Yeah.
want to get the pineapple one. So, and agave. That's it.
Ooh.
Those are the only three ingredients. And I get the gel form.
Okay.
And I do two tablespoons a day. Um, for me, what it has done, it has bloating gone away. Like it helps, like you don't feel bloated. It helps with your gut health. It has given me a lot of energy. It has helped me sleep. And I tell you what, and I know it's the CMOS because when I tested it out and I got the small jar and I
Mhm.
noticed, oh my God, I'm sleeping. I slept through the night. What the hell? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I've never slept through the night. And I'm like, damn, I slept really good. And I'm like, oh, Ghost, let's go for a walk. Good. And I'm like, oh my God, why do I have like a lot of energy? And I'm just like, oh, I'm peeing so much. And I'm like, oh, this feels so good. I don't feel so bloated. And I'm just like, And I'm next, my hair is starting to grow back. I just feel like, and it's like I said, has 92 of the 102 minerals your body needs and produces.
Wow.
So, um, I must be lacking something somewhere. You know what I
Right.
mean? Is my thought process, and it is helping me. And it can't hurt me. If anything, it is only helping me.
Right.
And it also helps. Wait a minute. I have been writing these benefits down, trying to give 2 benefits a day. It improves your blood sugar. It supports your heart health. It's a great source of iodine for your thyroid. It promotes healthy skin. As you can
Your skin does
see.
look amazing.
Thank you, thank you. Um, yeah, so it promotes gut and immune health. It has cancer fighting properties. It supports muscle and energy recovery. It also supports and helps weight loss, which we are on a weight loss
You're
journey.
gonna have to
So,
send me the details on that. I know Ryan and I have both dived in on different forms of sea moss, but I would like to definitely look into that a little bit more.
yeah, I'll let you know. I'll send you. I'll send you. I'll
Perfect.
send you.
Thank you. I do have a couple more questions I want to dive in. So, from all the things that you've tried in the past to now here
Mhm.
with Manjaro, what do you feel that you've adjusted since being on Manjaro that you don't think you could have done before? Like how does your eating habits look like now compared to when you tried to diet?
The difference is now it's not a fight. I don't, it's not me like, I can't even finish the plate. Oh, God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so like in the past, say I would make myself a food pre-Manjaro, right? I would eat it. I would not feel satisfied. I'd want more. I would think about it more. And then I would have to fight about those feelings. On Manjaro, I'm not really that hungry to eat with I guess there's 2 aspects. One, in regards to it helping me starve off hunger. So,
Mhm.
I'm not really that hungry to want to eat. 2, I do have a mild, I wouldn't say a large or an extreme that I've heard some other people, but I have a mild food aversion where things used to be so appealing to me, I would die for. Now,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not so excited for it where before it used to be like sex.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean? And I
it
used to be drooling over it. Now I can have a spoonful and I'd be good and
right.
satisfied where before I would need to eat the whole thing,
Exactly.
you know?
Yep.
So that's the difference.
Yep. And I think the biggest thing that I struggle with is like I almost have, it's not that I'm repulsed by food, but like nothing has that appealing sound to me anymore. Nothing
Right.
has that like, oh, I want to go eat that, or oh my gosh, that'd be so good. So that's where I struggle with the most of like, yeah, I can eat anything. Let's go eat, but I don't
Yeah.
know, like nothing's popping up, like yeah, of
Girl.
what to go eat.
Exactly. Nothing is as appetizing before.
Yeah,
Whereas I still have my food favorites. I know what I like. I
yeah,
still know I love cheesecake and I know that I can still eat cheesecake and I will still enjoy it. But 1 or 2 bites is fine for me now. And I'm
right,
okay with that. Whereas before, I would feel like I'm depriving myself if I only had 1 or 2 bites.
right.
I'd be like, only I can only have 1 or 2 bites. And I'd be pissed off and I'd be mad.
Yeah,
I'm suffering because I can only have 1 or 2 bites and I'm missing out in the world and I hate everybody. And then I get to the point where I've then withheld myself from having these things to then now I need to binge and I now need to have an entire freaking cheesecake and an
yeah,
entire pint of freaking ice cream and a cheeseburger and this that I haven't had in forever because I held myself back from having everything I wanted, you
Yeah,
know? Where now I could have everything I want because I can barely effing eat it anyway. So one or
right.
two bites and I'm done anyway, if it's bad food. And considering I can hardly get in my calories half the time, it's better that I have at least one or two bites of something that is higher calorie
Right.
driven, to at least I know I have gotten in my 1300 calories or something, you know?
Even though we are on different paths of you being type 2 diabetic and then just dealing with my obesity, we've really faced a lot of the same struggles. And I hope that brings to light to the people that are viewing tonight or see this on replay that although we are going down different paths and face different, medical concerns, we're all struggling the same way. So I hope that brings a light to some people. Now, with being type 2 diabetic, you said that you've been on metformin. Is that the only thing that your medical professionals have helped with your diabetes, or have you tried other things in the past?
No, I've tried other things in the past. I've tried other medications in the past. Some work differently than others. I've experimented, gone on and off metformin and tried different things. But at that point in time, metformin seemed to have the most least side effects. But what, like, I know some people that they say it's supposed to help you lose weight, but I didn't see that kind of help in any way while on
Right.
metformin.
When
Yeah.
I uh, when I just dived into it a little bit, it was more of like when they did a comparison. I think it was Dr. McGowan that's here on TikTok. He did a comparison of like what weight loss percentages. It's like Monjaro, you can lose 20% of your body weight, and then metformin was just like 1%. It wasn't a big weight loss medication. It was more of a control type of medication.
Yeah.
Rather than how these GLP and GIP medications are working, like Monjaro, they're strictly to help bring that glucose down and help you lose weight. They have
Which
different.
is which is great and interesting, considering the fact that metformin couldn't do for me in the 15 years that I've been on it, that Monjaro did for me in the 3 months that I've been on it.
As you said that, I remember. So this is something I wanted to bring up to you for your PA. I would ask your insurance company if, so they're trying to get you to use these other medications, ask if metformin can be considered part of the medicines that you've tried it before. Um,
Yeah,
because that,
I will definitely do that. Right now, I'm gonna try and be like optimistic because when I logged on to Caremark, I have Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and
mm,
my prescriptions are through Caremark,
yeah,
and I CVS Caremark, and I saw a few people that are on my friends that are on Manjaro that did get approved that have the same insurance that I do.
okay.
But also, when I logged on to CVS Caremark to just check, my prior authorization isn't there yet, but I noticed that on my Manjaro 7.5 refill, which I've never seen this before, it's saying that due to my provider's restrictions, I can't refill it until a certain date, and it has like a zero charge where it always has my $25 charge. And that's like,
Oh,
and it's never said that before, like, oh, due to your provider's restrictions. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, what, and why would they be following it if it, I mean, they don't usually cover it. So why would they be following usually they place it on hold, tell me I need to call them, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm just trying to keep my fingers crossed and be
yeah.
optimistic.
Oh,
Oh,
yay!
what? Oh,
Congratulations.
yeah! So happy for you. That's just
Oh,
great news.
I'm going through something similar. So I pushed mine through Optum RX, who is
Okay.
the provider for United Healthcare. Um, and they're not requiring a prior authorization. it mentioned that there may be a requirement for step therapy, which is trying, the other drugs, and that's what they told me metformin would be one of those that I could put down for trying. And they just said, "Oh, we just need a 90-day script from your doctor. Can you have them send it over?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Girl,
I can." So it says processing, so we'll see. So we'll both keep our fingers crossed and see how that
fingers
works.
crossed for you, girl. Fingers crossed. And I'm saying like they need to do something because like I'm saying to myself, like, okay, you all know, they know the demand is there. They know that it works.
Right,
Why? They're not going to make as much that there's no way that we all can afford to pay it. So we're not going to be able to be on it.
right.
Right. So they're going to lose out. There's eventually going to be a knockoff somewhere that's going to come out that everybody's going to hop on the train. So they need to lower the freaking prices in order to keep the people
Yep.
that are on it. I mean, like, I don't understand their game plan here on why they're wanting to keep it at $1,200.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a big shift in June.
I
Since
pray.
that's when a lot of us, the original cards either stop working or your insurance picks up and then you can go through December. So I think, well, originally it was their weight loss version of this was supposed to be out in spring of 2023. So I think we're going to hear in the next few weeks, it's just my opinion of, a different timeline for things from Eli Lilly. I think
Yeah,
timelines are going to be shifting because if not, they're going to lose out on so much. Um,
that's that's what I'm saying.
they're going to they're going
I'm
to have all these
marketing. Like,
patients just drop off of
it don't
it.
make sense to me. I don't get it.
Um, I've never, I've been on medications nearly my entire life, not necessarily for weight loss, or obesity or anything like this, but medications in general. And this has probably been the only medication where I have to fight every month to figure out if I'm going to get it. And the stress of
Yes.
that definitely has taken a toll on my mental health. I've been scrappy. I've been very strategic with my doctors in the sense of getting 90-day scripts. Um, at this point now, we are about 2 months ahead of when I'm getting my next box. So I already have doses and doses in my refrigerator. But the way we have to be so strategic for a medication that's helping so many people, I feel like that's very toxic.
Especially because it's not only like I hate the fact that people are focusing on the weight aspect
Right.
because, like I said, for me, forget about the weight aspect. Like I said, what it's doing for my mind, it's in my sanity that no antidepressant, anxiety pill can do.
Right.
So,
Because
like, it has helped me in so many other ways. I don't get why. I don't understand why the media wants to demonize it so much right now. I
right.
swear they just want to keep people fat or something. I don't get it.
Well, with that being said, although big pharma controls probably the media, they make more money when we are sick. They make more money when we have to be on other medications. And I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole of that.
Rabbit hole.
But, that is a theory that is out there and very true. Although this medication is expensive and can help, they don't want you to totally get healthy because then you don't need them. So it's
But
this loop that you can go down.
but see, okay, I feel like I will need a maintenance dose for Manjaro for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
So it's not like I'm going to be getting off the medication. They're still going to be getting money from me.
Right.
you
And
know?
and that's where I think once we've lost X amount of weight or get to those healthy ranges of where our body can start using our own metabolism and working the way it's supposed to, the maintenance dose, I don't know if me in particular, I don't know if it'll just be a once a month injection of Manjaro. I don't know if you've seen, I spaced mine out already a little bit. I'm 10 days apart. Or if that's when something like metformin can actually come in, and then that's when they can shine and actually be a
Yeah.
star of the show. Of that's what a maintenance dose should look like. A maintenance medication should look like metformin rather than, since it is a maintaining type of medication rather than a lowering and weight loss medication. That's just my thoughts when I've done the research on different things.
Yeah, true. If you're talking strictly for diabetes
Yeah.
and blood sugar. But for me, I'm talking overall because if that's not going to help my food noise in my head.
Right.
That's not going to help. Once the Manjaro stops, the food noise is going to come back. The depression and the anxiety from the food noise is going to come back. And
Right.
that's the vicious cycle. So metformin isn't going to help me with that.
Right.
It never, it's not meant to. It's just meant
Right.
to help you with your blood sugar. So the whatever is in this GLP-1, I don't know, but
Right.
whatever I need for whatever it does for my head, that's what I want it for.
Yes. So as a diabetic, do you do anything other than this medication? Do you wear a glucose monitor? Do you track your glucose at all?
Yes, I track my glucose. I have a blood sugar monitor. I don't wear a monitor. I just uh, I prick myself and I check myself every morning. And if I feel like my blood sugar might be a little too low, let me just double check. And usually it's not. It's just that I'm hot because I live in Florida.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't check any of that. And my blood sugar has been perfect. It's been great. My blood pressure has been perfect. It's been on point. I've been off my blood pressure medicine now for 2 months. So I've been off my diabetes medicine and my blood pressure medicine for 2 months now.
That's
And
amazing.
it's been awesome. My goal is to get off all my medicine. Like I only have one medicine because I'm on an antidepressant still.
Hmm.
So I need to wean myself off of that one. I can't just like stop that one.
Yeah.
Uh, but my goal is to do that as well.
Well, I'm very proud of you, and I'm so happy. It just makes me so happy hearing these. I don't know, want to call them success stories, but like hearing these stories of like how literally your life has been changed. You at 2 years ago, you thought there was something wrong with you. You thought that you were failing. You thought that you weren't doing enough, and the whole time you were. And so you've given yourself almost like this mental mind fuck for years
Yep.
and years and years. And here you are finally feeling at this inner peace like, yes, I am doing everything right. I am succeeding. I am seeing results. And that I'm just so happy for each and every one of us that get to experience that.
Yes. Yes. It's so freeing. It's
It is.
so freeing. Yeah.
And I know you talked about this a little bit. So you strictly saw Manjaro on TikTok. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you have, or do you want to shout out one of the first creators that you were seeing about this medication and what really drew you to start asking those questions to your doctor?
Um, if I can remember Michelle,
Okay. Yep.
she's the one that I actually saw talking about it. And then I forgot her screen name. I don't remember her screen name right off the top of my head, but there was like two creators that I saw that were mentioning it. And then the doctors, then I just like, typed it in. And then you know how all those doctors
Yep.
started coming up and I just started
Yep.
listening to the doctors and seeing what they had to say. And that's when I went and I did my own research on the internet. And then that's when I talked to my doctor about it and made the jump. Yeah.
Since you are type 2 diabetic, was that conversation with your doctor hard to have? I know you said they were a little reluctant and you were the first patient to ask for it. How did that conversation look and did you get pushback?
Um, at first, when I mentioned it, he kind of like laughed about it at first. He was like, "Oh, where'd you hear that?"
Right.
And then he was like, "That's really expensive, and I'm like, "Does your I don't think your insurance covers it." And I'm like, "No, but there's a savings card and stuff." And then he was like, "Okay." And then he was like, "Let me look." And he was like, "Well," he's like, I'm really happy where you, because let me rewind a little bit, because my blood sugar was at an 11.4, my
Oh, wow.
A1C. And from me losing that 70 pounds on my own, I had brought my blood sugar down to a 6.4. So I went from an 11.4 to 6.4 on my
Wow.
own.
That's amazing.
So he was like already happy where I was. And I was saying how I'm not, because ironically enough, he had mentioned to me, Christine, you've gained 20 pounds back since, you've lost that weight. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's the reason why I want to be on Manjaro, because
Right.
I've heard how not only does it help your diabetes, it helps you lose weight, which I obviously need help with because I'm doing everything that I was doing before. And it's just like not helping me. I need a push of some
Right.
sort. I don't know why or what. And it'll help me at the same time with my A1C. And he was like, "Well, your A1C is actually, I'm pretty happy with your A1C." I'm like, "Well, I'm not. I want my A1C to go down. I can do better."
Yeah. We're
It's
not
like, I can do
accepting
better.
that.
And so then he was like, okay, we'll try this out. We're going to try this out. They want you to move up every month, but I don't want to move you up every month. We're just going to test this out. And I'm like, okay. And
Yeah.
then 3 weeks in, you need to move me up. I'm not going to be on 2.5 again next month. So every
Yeah.
month he moved me up. And so, yeah, he's fine with it now and helping me try and get my PA. So,
Well, I'm glad that you have a care team that is listening to you, that did listen to you, and is assisting you on this journey. Since there's so many of us that have like not had that, I'm very grateful
yeah,
you do, and you've had that medical professional support you on this journey. Um,
yes, that's important. So important.
it is. Now, if you were to start this journey all over, brand new, or if you were to speak to somebody who's interested in learning about this medication or starting their own journey, what is one thing that you would tell your previous self before you started this journey, or a brand new person coming into this world that you've learned, something that you've learned, or you would wish you would have known right before you started?
Not to be scared. Don't be scared, because I was scared. The reason why I was scared is I didn't know how, because I would heard a lot of people with having horrible side effects. So I was scared on what was going to happen to me. I'm like, how bad are these stomach pains? Like, oh my God, am I
Yeah.
going to be able to get out of bed? Like, like, don't be scared. Because, like, even if you do, they have pills you can use for nausea. We have stuff to help constipation. There are things that can help monitor. It's not, for me anyway, it wasn't as bad. So I would say for the majority of people, I was like, don't be scared. That would be the
Yeah.
first thing. Um, Second is to really sit back and ask yourself, don't take this drug if you're looking for a quick fix to something. Because this isn't a quick fix drug. This isn't like, goalies. You go and you take a pill and help you lose. Like, this isn't a drug for people that wants to lose 20 pounds.
Right.
I see people are like, "Oh, I want to lose 20 pounds." Oh, like some of my friends, "Oh, you're losing so much weight. What are you on? What can I take?" I'm like, "Girl, you only need to lose 20 pounds. You don't need to be on Manjaro." Okay. Like, this is for people who have an obesity issue, mental problem with with food. You are just getting older and you are now can't eat everything you used to eat, where you used to eat everything and anything, and your body used to process it like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Now you gotta be like us normal people.
I've had quite a few friends reach out and say, "Oh, Cecilia, what are you doing? Um, is that something I can take?" And I'm not going to be skinny phobic, but I just let them know that it's a medication to help with obesity, and that's kind of what I leave it at. And if they want to consider themselves obese and dive down and learn more about it, I'll let them. But I kind of just preface, yeah, it's a medication that helps with type 2 diabetes and obesity. That's what it is. It's not a magic pill or anything like that. But
Yes.
some people that have messaged me are just, 10, 15 pounds overweight. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
uh,
and I'm not skinny phobic either.
yeah,
At all, by any means.
you're right.
Um, but I don't, like I said, that would be my advice. I'd be like, my advice it would be like, if you only have 20 pounds to lose, this isn't for you. Um, and if you do have more than that to lose, don't be afraid. Um, yeah, I think those are the only two things I would say. My only two big
Awesome.
pieces.
so with so you started your journey in September. We're now wrapping up January of 2023. What does 2023 like for you for your goals? And what do you have set out for yourself for this year other than getting past June of this year? Getting Manjaro. I think that's in a lot of our heads, like June timeframe. But what else do you have planned for yourself goal wise?
Okay. Well, right now, as of last week on Monday, I weighed in at 210. So short-term
Awesome.
goal, thank you. Short-term goal is getting into Wonderland. That's
Yep.
my short-term goal. And that's very important that for me to tell everybody is make sure, yes, have your long-term goal, but set short-term goals for you to
Yep.
focus on so you can have a celebration for every little milestone. And before you know it, you look back and you went, oh my God, I've come so far. Like before, you always look when I started at 299, I'm looking at where I need to be and I'm like I already feel defeated because I don't feel like I'll ever get there, especially after 3 weeks and you only lose 3 pounds. And I'm like, I've only lost 3 pounds and this is taking forever and I'm never gonna reach my goal and blah 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 blah. Blah. So like the small term victories, you like they're within reach. And so when you get them, you get so happy and excited that you act me, I did it every 10 pounds. I set oops, sorry.
Oh, you're
Where
okay.
did I go?
There you
Okay.
go.
Every someone called, so I had to like get rid of that.
Oh,
I basically do I set a goal every 10 pounds. So right
that's
now
good.
my goal is to get into Wonderland, which is only 10 pounds away. And after that, my other goal is my problem for me and my body shape, I'm an apple shape
Mhm.
and I carry most of my weight in my belly. So I have like what's called an apron belly. So my
Mhm.
belly hangs and it's been a crutch of mine and something that I have wanted to get rid of my entire life. So in order for me to qualify to have like a tummy tuck to get rid of my belly, I need to be at a certain BMI, which I will be at when I hit 190.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect.
so that's my second goal is to hit that BMI, which is at 190. And then my third is getting to like 180. And then once I hit 180 is when I intend on going to get consultation to get surgery to fix that. And because I'm 51, I want to like, sagging some skin over here from my weight loss, just like pull
Oh,
this
well,
up a little bit,
you look gorgeous. I would have never known that you were in your 50s. If
Oh,
you
thank
if you
you.
if you told me that seriously, I did not, when I was reading your bio and your information that you submitted for being on tonight, I was like, no, she's not. She's fibbing. No, she's not.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But
that's
and to
amazing.
live just to live and like I want to like travel this year. I want to go somewhere this year. I don't know what. Um, it all depends, but those are my weight loss goals is basically to get rid of my stomach this year to have surgery. And that's my goal.
That's amazing. I'm really proud of you. You've made such, first of all, you had such good success on your own. I want you to be proud of that too. You did a major weight loss on your own. And
Thank you.
this medication has just been a tool to help you finish the race, and that you did a lot of that hard work on your own. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that
Yeah.
because it was hard, very hard.
No, I know it's really hard, and especially when you've already had not necessarily weight loss surgery, but having your stomach stable before, and then even reconsidering that again, and then having this be such a success for you. I know I can just imagine the overwhelming relief you probably had that, oh my gosh, this is working.
Yes, like all my clothes don't, none of my clothes fit.
Yes.
Absolutely none of my underwears fall off of me. I need to buy, and I don't know what size underwears. I still buy the wrong flipping size on
Yes.
everything. I can't tell you how many times I buy something, I get it, and it's too big, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm smaller than I think.
Yeah,
Like
I've
I
had a
don't want to
really hard
buy,
time.
yeah, I don't want to buy a bunch of new clothes yet because I'm not near where I need to be yet, you know? So I just been living in buying pajamas and I live in my Victoria's Secret pajamas, and I'm so happy because I'm now a size extra large and I've never worn Victoria's Secret because I could never fit in Victoria's Secret.
Yes.
And so like in 20 pounds, I'm gonna have to buy a whole bunch of larges.
Yes. So I actually had an experience just last week or the week before. I was finally able to buy bras inside of Victoria's Secret that they carried in store. I've always got my bras from Victoria's Secret, but I've had the order online because I was wearing a band size 44 to 46. And now I'm down to a band size 38. And I was able to buy in store. So I got to try on everything. And there was so many things I could try on. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing.
See, me too. My band size is 40. I was a 44 double D.
Yep, same.
Now, like I'm still wearing it, but it's like I like this much loose in the cup and I have it tightened and tightened
Yep.
and tightened and it's so loose, but I'm like, I work from home now, so I don't
Yeah.
really need to like go run out and buy a bra and everything is so flippin' expensive. And like I said, I'm still losing, so I don't want to keep buying and buying. I'd rather just wait until I reach where I want to be and then I'll go and buy what I want to buy. So I'll just be happy buying little bit pajamas here and there and
Yeah. I think my thing that I
staying
do,
in.
I've only bought leggings, but I get the cheap
Yes.
ones from Costco. I get the dance skin from Costco. And it's funny, I've gotten every color in the 2X, and then it was really exciting when I got down to just the extra large. Now all of my larges are big on me. And I'm like, I'm not a medium. I've never been a medium my entire life. What's going on here? So I'm hanging on to these larges for as long as possible.
Oh my gosh. It's just so exciting
It
though. And
really
it's
is.
so exciting that so many people are experiencing this joy at the same time.
And I think that's really where I've gotten a lot of joy from is watching the TikToks of these creators and seeing their evolvement over. I mean, I started in August, so seeing the evolvement over the last 6 months of not only their weight loss journey, but their self love. Seeing everybody start doing their makeup on TikTok, seeing people start sharing them getting ready in the morning, seeing the way that they are loving themselves now that they have been on this journey to heal. I think that's probably been the biggest thing that I've like noticed. And I don't know why I'm just like hyper focused about things like that. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I get happy when I see other people glowing. And it's just been so
Yeah.
amazing watching, the one creator, Kayla, I love Kayla. She's actually down in Florida as well. The beginning of her videos, if you go back to her TikTok, were of her working out, and now it's her doing her makeup every morning and getting ready with her, and she's now financially saving money, and it's just like everything else falls into place when you're able to be in this great mindset. And I don't think we've all struggled so long to get into this good mindset. So just seeing everybody evolve has just been so beautiful.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree. And thank you so much.
Thank
Where is
you.
he? Thank you.
Um, I'm just so happy for you. Um, so your coupon, do you have the original? If you started in September, you probably have the original coupon, right?
Yes,
One of the original.
because I originally had gotten my Manjaro in July.
Oh,
I I had got at the end of July, I picked up my box, but I was going to Vegas for my birthday on in August. So
okay.
I didn't want to start. I had gotten it at the end of July. So like, and I was going to Vegas on August 15th. So I didn't want to start something that I was afraid to start, and I didn't know how it
Yeah,
was going to make me feel. And I was going to Vegas, and I wanted to
yeah.
enjoy myself, and I was going on this foodie tour, and I'm like, what if this thing makes me so sick and I can't even go on this foodie tour? And I want to enjoy this foodie tour, so like, I don't want to take this medication.
That's
So I was like, I'll
funny.
wait till I get home. So
Yeah.
that's why I waited till after Vegas, and then I started it at the beginning of the first week of September.
Okay. So your birthday makes you a Leo?
Yes.
My grandma's birthday is in August, and we have a lady at our restaurant that has the same birthday, and she's like, "I'm a Leo," so that's how I know.
Leo. I'm so happy. I've never gotten the sulfur burps. I'm glad you don't have sulfur. Did you get the sulfur burps?
I didn't. I haven't had any side effects except nausea. So, but I am a nauseous person to begin with. I get nauseous from scents. Like I'm very sensitive to candles.
Smells? Okay.
Yes, smells. So I'm very sensitive to that. So like if I get nauseous, I this is not a problem of mine. It's just something that happens. I throw up a lot. And it's not intentionally, it's not a disorder or anything like that. It just relieves whatever like nauseating, like I don't know, it's just something up in my nose and like in my chest that happens. So I'm already used to, I'm a thrower upper, but not in a like a disorder way, I promise. So that's all I really experienced, is that I had a little bit more nausea, and I already have a medication from my doctor for that. Um, because I do get nauseous so often, and that's about all I experienced. I haven't had sulfur burps. I know there's some people that had diarrhea really bad on it. And then I think the only thing I faced probably the first, I'd say 3 weeks, was the constipation. Um, I started drinking smooth move tea as soon as I noticed I hadn't been going regularly, and I after that I was okay. But um, yeah, I really didn't experience a lot of side effects. And I actually took my injection today, and you said something about like if you took it in your stomach, you were tired during the day or a few hours
Yeah.
later. That's usually what
Yeah.
happens to me. So I usually take my injection super early in the morning, and then by
Me
mid
too. Me too.
well, I work from home also, so I get up pretty early, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Me
Um,
too. We're 20s. I
yeah,
get up because we work from home and we can always like go back to sleep and we don't have to get up to a certain time and we just gotta go in our pajamas and then go work it anyway. So whatever. So I'm up at 5 in the morning all the
yep.
time.
So I,
Same.
I get up early, and then my first meetings are usually at 6 in the morning. I work with the teams in China, so
Okay.
that's like 8 p.m. for them. So we try to like offset it so it's not super late, not super early. And I'd say by mid afternoon on shot days is when I like start feeling that tired feeling, and then
Yeah.
it wears off after like a couple hours or so, and then I feel fine. And then the nausea, usually maybe the next day I'm a little nauseous, but nothing to where it like keeps me from doing anything. But
Yeah. Nothing
again,
too extreme. Yeah.
yeah, but
Same.
again, I'm just used to it also. Um, I don't ginger snaps. I've never heard those. Oh, somebody's the sulfur burps. I've heard a lot of people having the sulfur burps. I do not have anything.
Yeah. I never had that.
If
I'm
you guys
glad
are
I don't.
brand new here, I see a couple people talking about the medication and getting a script. My biggest advice for somebody brand new is look at your formulary on your insurance plan. If I could do this all over again, to save the anxiety and headache, see what medications your insurance does approve before starting Manjaro. So you're not given something that can be ripped away from you, or you struggle to
Yeah.
even get the medication. See what your formulary offers. I have not taken any of the other GLPs, but I will tell you that you can find lots of people here on TikTok that have taken Saxenda, Trulicity, Wegovy, Ozempic, and they are seeing results too. So Manjaro is not the holy grail. It's not the end all be all. It's not the only one you can take. It's just the newest one that has been very successful. So
Right.
that's my biggest advice for somebody brand new. Look at your insurance plan and see what is covered. And if you don't know what those medications are, go ahead and Google GLP medications, and that will give you the list of Wegovy.
See,
There you go.
she lost 128 pounds on Ozempic.
Yay!
That's
Yes,
amazing.
he
That's
has been
amazing.
killing it with his weight loss journey, and that's what I mean. The Manjaro is not. It's just the newest. It's a new kid on the block, so that's why
Yeah.
you hear a lot about it. But these other medications do work, and they work similarly to Manjaro. Manjaro just has different agonists in it, which I think the different agonist is more of that brain connection that other ones don't have.
Exactly. And so that's my point on one of the reasons why I don't want to switch.
Right.
Now, it would have been different if I started it with one of those, then I wouldn't know what I was missing. And
Right.
I don't know how those would have affected me. But ripping something away that something else might not do for me just because to save a few bucks,
Right.
um, I don't feel is right.
Right. No,
So,
I totally understand. And then Brandy, I would go through those medications. And this is one other thing that I would help you guys if you're brand new. Don't ask about weight loss medication. Don't consider this a weight loss medication. Consider this a GLP medication and look for GLP medications, not weight loss medications, because your doctors
yeah.
can write that this is for other reasons. A lot of insurance plans will deny weight loss medication, but if it is helping you prevent heart disease, prevent strokes, prevent, in my case, I have a blood disorder that we're just now learning about, preventing high risk of blood clots. Talk about all the other benefits that you're getting, because there is a stigma around obesity and
Wait,
weight loss
yeah,
medication. Um,
yeah.
and unfortunately, that's the only way we're ever going to get around it, is if we keep pointing out the other benefits that we're getting. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this difficult, but it is. But that's my biggest advice for anyone who's trying to get this covered with with their insurance, or trying to get on this medication. Do not tell your insurance you are looking for a weight loss medication. It is a GLP medication, and then list out all these benefits that it does for you. Um, uh, Dana, I think I missed something.
Yeah, I'm like trying to understand what's going on.
Oh, Dana. So you're losing your hair. So, if
Oh,
if you've had extreme weight loss, here on Manjaro, that can be a side effect. And Dr. Jenna, or the Weight Doc here on TikTok, she does have a couple videos on it. It will come back. It is just the process of losing weight. But I will also tell you that it is also that time of year. I don't know if you have a large amount of hair like I do, but I lose hair in the wintertime. I'm not, it's weird. I lose hair, I probably more than most people. So it may not just be the medication, but I know if
you
you
see,
are
I'm
losing your hair.
going I'm going through perimenopause.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last several years, I was losing my hair and thinning and so on and so forth. But I would say from the last 6 months So I don't know if Manjaro necessarily has anything to do with helping the situation, but I know the CMOS, me taking my extra iron, taking better care of my hair, chopping my hair off, my hair is actually grown. So
Yeah.
my hair is growing back. So I haven't heard of like losing hair because of Manjaro, but like you said, maybe rapid weight loss,
Yeah.
and not taking enough vitamins. Make sure you're getting your iron and you're getting all your
Yep.
vitamins in and stuff like that.
Any advice on what to do before first injection tomorrow?
Eat
Yeah.
protein.
Yep. Eat, Maddie. That's all I think that I would recommend to anyone. I'll let you know what I personally do. I have the Fairlife protein shakes. They're like a chocolate milk, but I get the 42 grams of protein. I eat 2 hard-boiled eggs and I drink my shake in the morning. I know it doesn't sound super appealing, but that's just something that I know that I can tolerate all the time, and I'm not going to get like this um, food disgust from it. Like I'm not going to get like sick of it. I know I can sprinkle a little salt on my egg. It's never going to make me nauseous. Sometimes people can't tolerate eggs. So I just sprinkle a little salt on it. I break it up and I nibble on it and I drink my shake. And then I take my shot later. Maybe within like, I'd say I let my shot sit out for like 30 minutes while I eat and drink. And then I take my shot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would eat before your shot.
Yep. And then the night before, if you're tonight, if you are taking your shot tomorrow, I would also make sure that you ate a good meal for dinner. That always helps me. Um, I don't know if I do it just to have nice dinners from my boyfriend, or if I have subconsciously told him that the next day is shot day. So he needs to make sure that we eat salmon or he needs to make steak. So like we make a good meal the night before, and then I make sure I drink my shake and everything.
Yeah, like for breakfast, it all depends. Everybody's different on what foods that they kind of like and that's like their go-to,
Mm-hmm.
especially for me because when I know that I should be eating around 1,300 calories a day if I want to continue to be at a 500 calorie deficit to continue to lose weight. So, you're limited on what you can actually eat.
Right.
So I know I want to get my protein in. So my shake, because that has a lot of protein. And I've been doing these uh protein bars.
Mm.
Make maple donut protein bars are like
Oh
20
yeah.
grams of protein. They're so good.
Are those the ones
So I'll,
from Aldi's?
they're called
Okay.
one bars.
Yeah.
I don't go to Aldi's that often, so I don't know if they sell them
I
there, but
I
I
think
ordered mine from.
I think Aldi's has a dupe for that.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think it's like a
Um,
knockoff.
yeah, and I like it. So
Yeah.
now that or fiber, I do fiber one crunch, you
Uh-huh.
know, got to try and get that fiber in too.
Yep. Very important. And Dana, the hair loss could be like Mira is mentioning, it could be from a lack of nutrition. Not meaning that you're not eating, but maybe you're not getting in the protein or the minerals that you are used to getting, and then you're lacking. Also, my hairdresser said this. She's like, okay, Cecilia, I just got my hair cut last Tuesday, and I mentioned to her about my hair falling out, but she knows that I have a lot of hair and my hair always falls out. She said, but if you're losing weight, also, you're going to lose it in your head. Like, she goes, it could just be that you're losing actual like fat up in your scalp and everything. I don't know the like scientifics behind it or anything, but like if you had a fat head and you're losing weight, like you could be losing up here and just your hair not having the strength in the follicle anymore. It was really funny. She's like, but you do lose weight up in your scalp. So Dana, just kind of check in with a nutritionist, make sure, or at least just know that you're getting your intake the way you should. And then I highly recommend checking out the Weight Docs videos on it. She talks about it and she pretty much says it's going to come back, but it's just a part of things that happen, especially on weight loss journeys, just because our body is changing so much. Um, yeah. So, Brandy, the only suggestion I have, if you are taking B12, iron, anything like that, just from my experience, I've been working with an oncologist and a hematologist. Um, I was not aware that you can almost intoxify yourself by taking too much B12 or too much iron. If you're not
Yep.
aware of what your levels are supposed to be at and how much you're taking on a daily dose, um, you can intoxify yourself.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because my iron used to be pretty low, but not considered to be deficient. So it's something that me and my doctor have been working on and monitoring. And I've been taking 2 iron pills every day. And when he just did my blood work, I had mentioned to him, I'm like, how did my iron levels come? And he's like, oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. And he went and he compared. He was like, wow. Okay, how many iron pills are you taking a day? And I'm like, I'm taking 2. He's like, okay, don't take that 2 anymore. We need
Yeah.
to cut you down to 1 because you jumped a whole liter
Yep.
of iron, like a whole liter. He's like, your iron is fine now.
Yep.
You're actually great. He was like, there's such a thing as having too much iron.
Yep.
So we need to just do 1 a day, and we're going to retest to see if it stayed the same or if it went down or where we are. So it's important that you make sure you don't do too much of that. And
Yep.
because I'm doing CMOS, I'm sure CMOS has iron in it as well. So it's
Yep.
another reason why I'm just taking 1 iron pill a day.
Yep. Dana, again, she said that her sister had gastric bypass 20 years ago and lost almost all her hair and it's never come back. My mom also had the gastric bypass. And when you have the gastric bypass, it actually changes the way that your body absorbs nutrients. Going back again, not getting that nutrient or mineral intake that we need. And it also changes the way your body actually processes your food. My mom suffered severely. Not only did she lose her hair, but it affected her teeth. My mom had perfect teeth before having gastric bypass, and within less than a year, she had all of her teeth pulled and had to get dentures.
Oh my
She
God.
had never even had a cavity, and it really affects the way you absorb nutrients. And a doctor did not inform her of like having supplements or anything like that. And it may be on her. I don't remember. Everything was done in 04, 2004. But it was very traumatic for my mom. So I've just been very conscious about that, and that's all I can share with you, Dana. Is just it's a mineral deficiency and the way your body absorbs things when you either have weight loss surgery or when you're on diets or when take medications for weight loss. You have to be really conscious. If you see that your hair is falling out, definitely talk to your doctor and see if you're just deficient in some area, and try to be proactive. I know it is. I know it can be stressful losing your hair. Um, yes, chewing ice is the biggest one. I've gone through the same thing. I never chewed ice. My iron is like literally almost zero. And my body, we did infusions. I've had to take pills. My body does not absorb the iron. I don't know where it goes. Um, but it literally will go up for like 30 days and then it drops right back. So I don't know what's happening in my body, but I never experienced the chewing of ice. And that was my mom's biggest indicator. She chewed ice all the time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my mom there, guys. Christina. It threw her thyroid off. So it messes with your body. So it definitely is something to look into. She chewed she chewed ice, she lost her hair, it messed with her teeth. Thankfully she's all good now. Her hair is gorgeous. Her dentures are beautiful. It was a lot of trauma for her to go through. Uh,
Hmm.
she got. Oh yeah, so Dana, definitely, my mom went through something very similar, and she had the gastric bypass too. But I know my mom had complications with her gastric bypass. Yes, it. Yeah. um, So far this year, I've had 2 iron infusions, and it just doesn't. I don't know where the iron goes. My
My
body
sister has
doesn't
to
like
have
it.
iron infusions as well.
I don't know where it goes. I don't understand why my body doesn't like it and doesn't absorb it. But they also make me very sick. Like it made my mom feel like $1 million. She felt
Right
like
back.
you're fine. It makes my mom feel like $1 million, like she's ready to run a marathon, like she feels brand new, like she just got a full tank of gas and she's ready to go. Me, it makes me feel like I have the flu. It makes me feel awful. It makes me feel sluggish. So everybody's different, and it affects everybody differently. But um, definitely, um, Dana, talk with your doctor about this, and definitely be on top of any minerals or vitamins that you may be lacking due to this diet change and with Manjaro and losing the weight. Great conversations in here tonight. And thank you, Chrissy, so much for coming on here. And I have to say it again. You look beautiful. And
Oh, thank you.
I would have never known that you were in your 50s. And I would have never known, like, you are absolutely gorgeous. Your skin is looking amazing. Your hair is gorgeous. Um,
Thank you.
and I'm just so proud of all the work that you've put in. And thank you for giving us a side of the story from a type 2 diabetic, and letting us know what you face and the struggles that you face, and letting us know it's not just because you're a type 2 diabetic, it hasn't been a cakewalk for you to get this
Exactly.
medication either.
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me on, for
Yes.
talking to me. You have been wonderful.
Oh,
You are
thank you.
lovely. You're supportive. You're amazing. And I'm so proud of you and everything you're
Thank
doing,
you.
Miss.
Thank you so much. And if anybody just tuned in or is just popping on and wants to watch the entire session from tonight and see more of Chrissy's story from previously in the night, this will be reloaded up onto my YouTube, and we will have it there, and you will be able to share it and have it for whatever you would like to do. I know my mom and family loves to catch up on these stories, and I share them with everybody on my social media. So um, continue to share your story. Continue to just express how this medication is helping, and maybe one day we'll be able to change the narrative on obesity and how there is this relationship between obesity and type 2 diabetes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it.
Yes, Chrissy, have a good night. Thank you guys for tuning in, and the replay will be loaded here this evening. Thanks,
You
guys. Happy
too.
Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.